Alright, so this one's gonna be a bit of a windy one. So, the weather is kind of windy. Um, yeah, so I've been watching this like stuff about Rick Rubin. I've known of him for years, but like, I actually got to see like, his like kind of place, his kind of, who he works with, how he's worked with these people. I mean, I know Son, I've like dabbled. I always just thought he was a rock guy, really. But obviously he had like these types of rap and stuff. And one thing that really interests me about him, obviously, I mean, one thing is that he like studied philosophy, and he's basically like a philosopher to these like rappers. Like, they'll come to him for advice, and he'll kind of help them formulate the ideas or concepts for a project. And I'm more like, okay, that's kind of cool. I want to do that. He's got like my dream job. Like, people will come to him for advice on music. I love that. And he has this place. It's called the Shangri-La. It was made for Bob Dylan or Mick Jagger. I'm gonna say Bob Dylan. I'm not a news source, so don't quiz me. Yeah, and basically the Shangri-La, he painted this studio completely white, and it's just literally like some grass out front. The only thing that's not white in there, except for the grass on the outside, is some pink tiles in the kitchen. But everything else is white to keep like a clear state in your head. So obviously you're like, I don't know, you're not thinking, overthinking anything. You just sit there, you process, you think, and all you can hear is waves outside. That's it. There's no cars, no nothing. It's in Malibu, I think. I'm pretty sure I heard it was in Malibu, and I've been to Malibu. It's actually a lovely place. I went there about a year ago now. Yeah, it's really quiet, nice. I mean, if I had a lot of money, I would live there. It's literally so picturesque, and it's in America, but it's in like a nice bit, And I don't know, I just kind of like that. And so this Shangri-La place, it's hundreds and hundreds of popular records were made there. Kanye made some of Yeezus on there, Tyler recorded some stuff there, Frank Ocean recorded stuff on there, and so many more people. Mac Miller like kind of lived there a bit. He kind of just like, that's how he kind of came into the second act of his career, and I find that quite cool too. And yeah, like it's like people just go there to like kind of break down themselves and kind of make something of new of themselves, because I feel like artists that go there, they kind of do what I like artists for the most, which is, kind of reinventing themselves or kind of going the distance with what they can do. Because, like when you watch a boxing match, right, when they go the distance, that's them at their limits, right? And when you go further in your career, you're kind of, you're at your 10th round, you're at your thing, you're nearing the end of your career pretty much, because, obviously nothing's going to last forever, and obviously there is going to be a time where you have to call it quits or just finish it. And, or you could just get finished. I mean, some people just drop mid-projects and don't return. I mean, look at Chance the Rapper. He got bodied by that one album he made like 10 years ago. And he only made an album like a year ago because of how bad it went. That's like a knockout. That's like a second round knockout. Like first round, he was really good. Actually no, first 2 rounds were pretty good. Third round, bop, and he got flatlined. Like, is he actually gonna recover, kind of thing? And then yeah, well, like artists that I like. I mean, I don't really like Chance the Rapper, but yeah, like Frank, I'd say Frank on Endless was him at his limits, I mean, Blonde is his best project, but Endless is his most experimental, and that's kind of what I value the most. And, I'd say even with like Michael Jackson, the biggest artist, to ever live, the most famous person in the world, like forever. Invincible is my favorite project by him, because it's like, he's like trying to say, yeah, I'm still Michael Jackson, but obviously, I ain't gonna moonwalk for you, like he's doing his own thing. Yeah, so obviously he's kind of like, because that came out in like 2001, right? And obviously that's a long way away from Thriller, so obviously he's far from his peak, like numbers wise, but I feel like putting him in such a bipolar, like watching, like, a complete upside down face kind of place, that's kind of, I don't know, I feel like that's where you've got him pushed, and that was his last record, and that was him as his most experimental. I mean, like, I don't know, I feel like I'm proving a good point here. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other people. I mean, Igor is like Tyler's best work, and I doubt he can top that. So obviously he went far and beyond with that. I'm pretty sure he made Igor in the Shangri-La. So that's kind of, I don't know. That's kind of like a little neat fact there. I mean, like a bit. Not he probably didn't make the whole thing there, because you know, people probably book this thing out. I would make my own Shangri-La. I just don't have money. Yeah, if I had like a couple million, I'd just buy his one. I mean, like it's perfect. Or I might get one just next door. But I want to live there. Obviously, have like a studio somewhere as well. That'd be cool. Yeah. 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 So Tyler made that Ego project, and I don't know. I feel like he didn't. He's getting. I think that was his like limit, right? I mean, he can make good music. It's not like he's bad or he's gone mid, but it's like, you know, as far as you can fly to the sun, you will crash eventually. So yeah, so I don't know. Chromacopia was good. Come If You Get Lost was alright. Don't Tap the Glass was okay. You know, like that's kind of it. I mean, like Kanye with like his projects. I mean, I feel like although Donda wasn't his peak, but that was him at his like best production wise. Like not as like a producer like making beats. Like that's like a sound engineer. You know what I mean? Like actually, like as a choreographer, was him at his best. You know, it was a whole movement. There was listening parties. There was a whole like a moment. It was a moment in time where you had to be there to kind of get it. And like I don't know. That's kind of why I don't really go back to that album that much, because I felt like, you know, I had its time, and I was there at the right time. I waited for it. I listened to all the rollouts and everything. You know, him with all the outfits. Literally his outfits there were like peak. I mean, literally, I don't even know if I could even dress like that. I don't think he can do that again. I mean, like the spike jacket, the red jacket. I bought a black version of that jacket because he made it in 3 colors: blue, red, and black. I wanted to get red, but I was like, nah, I could get it black. I feel like it's gonna be too red, you know. So yeah, that's kind of it. I feel like I'll call this one like the Shangri-La bit.